Hello and welcome to Project Cars PCF round 7 at Zolder. Could be a very interesting race in the Formula Bs. We are going to be delayed for a few minutes though. A couple of drivers found out that obviously there is an update to do. So in the meantime, it's going to give me a chance to share the link onto myself and for Racing RI can waffle on for a little while. Waffle.
Yep, that's true.
I thought you'd at least come. I thought you was going to come on and go waffle, but obviously not. I'll tell you what. I have Kev's messaged me as well saying he was doing his potentiometer on his brakes. He went to calibrate it and nothing on the brakes still. Oh dear. So Kev will probably still be using his clutch pedal as a brake for the time being then. Okay, right. So Ray, what should we waffle on about while the drivers have a chat, get themselves ready and work out what they're going to do after this race?
I don't know, what do you want to waffle on about?
Ooh, I reckon we should talk about what cars the drivers should be using in the next season of the PCF League. I have pretty much left it up to Kev to sort of decide on. I have to remind him about that as well, which you'll probably find out after watching this. But I'm wondering whether to say, go with the LMP ones, or whether to say, go with the LMP twos, or whether there's something else.
The Ford Escort. No.
Terribly slow and handles horribly. You know what I was thinking, right? I was thinking if they were to do the LMP ones, you could say, right, okay, you can use either of the LMP ones, or you could perhaps pick one of them and say, right, everyone in this. For example, the old Mercedes one, which is a brilliant car to drive. Okay, what do you think about that? I'm just going to go through the friends list again. So Adam 4600's online, so let's send him an invite. Go on, Ray.
I'd like to keep them on the same car so that it's all like the same racing. There's no advantages here and there. Although the setups come into advantage if you put the car set up better, but where the difference in the car is an advantage.
That is true, down to the driver. Now I do know that obviously there has been an update on Project Cars within the last few days. I don't know the full details of everything that has been updated, but I do know a couple of things. Hopefully now they've fixed the where if you set it to I'll get the words out of my mouth in a moment. If you set it to everybody with the same setup, standard setup, if that is now set so that you can't adjust your car and it doesn't mess anything else up, that would be brilliant, because you could sort of enforce that, right, no setups on the car, away you go. Then it really would be down to the drivers and how they get on. Is that something you'd be a fan of? Yeah. For me, doing that is one of those things where if you've got people who've got time to practice, they'll practice but without being able to adjust the setup. If you've got people who haven't got the time to practice, they'll be able to still sort of jump on and go for it because they won't have to change their setup. You can also now put in a mandatory pit stop, which is something that you can, which would be something that we could look at imposing in one of the other seasons. So for example, like in the Ginetta Juniors, where the possibility of doing a non-stop is there, we could sort of do it where you say, right, okay, you enforce a stop. But then I like the idea of someone could possibly go through the race without doing a stop, But is it going to be quicker than someone who does stop? It's an interesting one.
It depends. It depends. If they're at the front and they don't stop, then I don't think the person that pits behind them is going to catch them.
No.
Well, I wouldn't, because I fill my car up with fuel, because I've seen what the pit stops do with the fuel. And I've seen what they do with the tyres and all. So
Yeah.
I should not pit. I should just go for it.
You could
Get
try.
down the last corner, straight on.
Okay, I'm trying to vote to start a session, and I wasn't able to, but now I may be able to. We've still got a couple of drivers who are waiting on, but it's now 20 past, so I think we've given it 20 minutes, so I reckon we get it going. Those drivers who may be doing the updates should still be able to hopefully get on with a 15-minute qualifying session and a 5-minute warm-up.
Mr. Front Row Racing DP, who set the lobby up?
I did.
So why are you voting to start the session?
Well, it wouldn't be a vote, it'd be a clicking to start session, is what it would be. So, we're about to get going. Now, obviously, there is a few drivers missing. Smithers has let us know he's moving house, so he's not going to be available for a while. But then we've got Woolhouse, who's not online at the moment. Jason, who I think is doing the update. Bartman, who is online playing Star Wars. Obviously thinks himself as a bit of a Jedi. My Bad, who's not online at the moment. And GT5 King, who's not online. And then Duofin, who is probably playing hockey again. So a few drivers missing, which is a bit disappointing. But I do think a few have been put off as well by losing their wheels as often as, for example, GT5 has been doing recently in the Project Cars races. I mean, would you agree with that diagnosis, Ray? Do you think they have been put off by
Yes.
the lossage of wheelage?
Yep.
Yep.
Of course.
I would agree. But I find it quite interesting because obviously there was quite a few people. Richie Davey, he's not on either. Before we got the Project Cars leagues going, we had a few people saying, use the Formula A's, use the Formula A's. And it's like, no. So we didn't use the Formula A's. Had we used the Formula A's, then they'd probably be losing even more wheels than what they currently have been doing. But we'll see how the guys get on here at Zolder. A very interesting track for the guys to be circulating around. A few of them looking like they're still getting their set-up track. So, Ray, you did a couple of laps around here earlier on. And would you like to tell us what you found out about this track?
It's quite bumpy. A low right height won't work round here. You hit one of the bumps, the floor of your car hits the tarmac and it spins you. I didn't lose a wheel unless it was another car that was on track that hit me, but that's probably because I was going too slow. And as I'm on string of B, this corner on just before the chicane at the start finish straight, I couldn't get my braking zone.
For the hairpin, yeah.
The hairpins, the curbs, they're okay, they're not too bad.
Well, for me, it's been a while since I've driven around here. The main thing I remember about this particular track is turn 1, this left-hander, it's quite a fast corner. Turn 2 is also quite a fast corner, so's turn 3 and turn 4. And then you're into the first of the kind of nasty chicanes where there is some big curbs there. If you get it a little bit, you take a bit too much curb and it is going to spit you in the air. And there is, I think, 2 of them around this track that can be a bit nasty. Stringer B's heading up to one of them now, so we'll see how his car copes through here. But like I say, a low ride height won't work around this track through some of the bumps and through some of the chicanes. So the drivers hopefully have had a bit of practice, hopefully raised their ride height and got plenty of aerodynamics on. Oh, we've got a car off track and one parked. It's Kev187 who's gone off. Who is that is parked in...
I think it was Mulrine.
I think it was... I think you could be right.
Oh.
I think you may be right. I think it may have been Mulrine, you know. I think Mulrine and Kev may have perhaps had a bit of a close shave, which saw Kev off and Mulrine parked on the apex of a corner, perhaps with damage. But Hesselden currently now sitting on pole position with a 1:20.3, and I've got to admit I have no idea what lap times these will do round here. But if Kev gets if Kev gets his brakes working and a proper lapping, I'm sure we'll find out. So while the guys get circulating, warming their cars up, warming their tyres up, warming the grass up. Oh, that's going to the barrier. So while they're heading round the track, I'll have a quick look at the standings for the PCF. And a surprise perhaps leader in the standings at the moment with Neo Tig Jr. on 89 points, leading Grable 79 who's on 76 points, Kev 187 on 71 points, Dave the Harp 63 points, Mulrine on 46, Jason on 38, who hopefully will be able to join us. Ray, you might want to keep an eye on that one actually, from the menu to see whether he can send him some more invites and get him in. Duo Finn is then on 36 points, GT5 King on 30 points, Woolhouse on 27, Bartman on 16, Hesselden on 13, Richie Davey on 11, MyBad on 11, and Stringy B on 0. So there's the standings.
As in online.
Okay. We shall see whether he pops back on. Just send him a couple of invites, and if his system may do an automatic restart, we'll see how he gets on. Okay, so Hesselden got down into a 119.4. Stringy B's on a 125. Kev 187 just about to start a lap. See if he can keep it on the tarmac here. Usually quite clearly the fastest driver in the Formula Bs, but has had the same unfortunate outcome as many of the other drivers in losing a wheel on the odd occasion. So we'll see how he gets on around this track. And he has said he does like this circuit if it's the one he remembers, and going on his out laps, it's probably not the one he remembers. But attacking the chicanes, really attacking the curbs through the chicanes there, so he's got that car set up nicely to be able to do that. Up over the crest of the hill and then into another tricky chicane. Reminds me a lot of an old Hockenheim chicane, that one does. And then we head onto the back side of the circuit, towards the hairpin that Ray was on about. There's no real... it's very easy to miss your brake in there and go deep, but Kev's around it quite nicely, and then pretty much a flat out chicane up to the start finish line. No, he's got another chicane to do first.
And that's why I don't race in these cars.
Yeah, a little bit of lag through the final chicane there, but now heading up to the start finish line, and it's a 118.4. Oh, and then into the barrier. That was a big into the barrier by the sounds of it as well. So he's just gone pretty much a second faster than Hesselden at the moment. Dave the Harp sitting in third place, about to cross the line. Can he improve? He does, to a 118.6. That's an impressive lap time by Dave there.
Kev's lost a wheel.
Oh dear.
Front wheel.
Well, at least it's not a...
And it was that bump I was talking about.
Oh really? Oh, interesting. Neo Tig drifting it a little bit around turns 4, I think that is, and then heading up to the first of the chicanes. Currently in fourth place on a 123.4. Not quite attacking at the same sort of speed as Kev, but very aggressive over the curbs. I think he's being followed by either Dave the Harp or Stringy B, but we'll follow on with Neo. Really aggressive through the second part of the chicane there, as he now heads towards the crest of the hill. Where if you've got DRS on a car, you have to be very careful there. He's 1.3 seconds up on his own time, so that's looking at being in the 121s. Let's see if he can improve on sector 2 as well, as he now comes round a nice... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong marker. I'm looking at the green dot. I should be looking at the arrow. The final chicane is now coming through up to the start finish line. It's so confusing with the green dot. Now he's going to improve, but the car behind him is as well. So 121.6 for Neo Tig, But who was that?
Goes first.
Dave the Harp has gone first.
18.406.
Now he could have
118.469.
Yep, I think Dave the Harp benefited from being behind Neotig there. Got a bit of slipstream. Could you do us a favour, Ray, and just send Mull Ryan another invite for us, please? Because I've just noticed that he has just left the session. Let's see how Grable is getting on. And a nice white and red car, currently on a 130.153. And whereabouts on circuit is he? Heading up to the final chicane. So hopefully we'll see him improve on this particular lap time. Not quite attacking the corners as much as some of the other drivers. Could cost him on lap time, but help him on tyre life. That's a 127.0. Stringy B up over the hill. Been doing well in Formula 1 lately. Let's see how he gets on in the Formula Bs. Oh, too deep, through the cones, all over the place. Bit too quick through there on that one. Let's see, Kev 187 is back out on track and warming his tyres, so he's probably on an out lap. Dave the Hart coming up to the start finish line once again, and does not improve on that particular lap, which is a little bit of a shame. Hesselden is a little further around the circuit, so Hesselden is in the same colour car as Dave the Harp for this one, currently on a 119.4.
I'm sure that'll go down well.
Yeah. Grable's just cleared the rest of the cones that someone wiped out earlier, and I think Hesselden has perhaps backed off a little bit now. So let's see if we can ride on board with Kev, see if he's built his tyre temperature up enough. He's approaching the final chicane, so 2 corners to go, and then he can attack for another lap. Now it's quite a short lap around here, obviously in the 1 minute 18s. So, oh, Kev spun it, he's into the wall. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I know we said about warming your tyres up, that's one way to try and do it, but I think you may have just lost half a front wing from it. No, it's still intact, but that's definitely not the best way to get set up for a lap. But on the other hand, he's still got plenty of time to set other laps. Because what I was going to say was, with it being only a 1 minute sort of 18 to 20 lap, there's plenty of time for the drivers to keep pumping laps in. Okay, Dave the Harp, can he improve any more? No, he can't, so he's got to continue on for another lap. Hesselden still in 3rd place, and is heading around turn 4 at the moment. So, while we're into the last 5 minutes, Ray, is there anything that you can see around this circuit that's grabbing your eyesight, or your... I won't finish that sentence. Grabbing your attention, shall we say?
Just the drivers struggling to keep it on track.
Oh, yeah.
The cars are quite back end tail happy, skitterish or whatever it was. Skitterish, yes.
They very much can be. I tell you what, I did download an actual track map for this circuit. If I can pop it up, I will. What I'm finding interesting is the visual difference that we can see between the speed some of the drivers are taking through the corners, because I think it's kind of fairly clear that like Kev and Dave the Harp are very aggressive through quite a few of the corners, and that'll be where they are gaining a lot of time. So Neotig's been dropped down to 4th place. No, he already was in 4th place. Now Kev's on a lap, possibly got a bit of slipstream. I tell you what, Dave the Harps has improved his time to an 18.3. Grable's gone deep at one of the chicanes that allows Kev to go through. I was just wondering that. Okay, I have got a track map, and I've also got corner names, but I tell you what, we're not going to I don't think we'll be using them, Ray.
Practice.
Well, okay, I've got 2 minutes 40 seconds. No, are you ready for this? Okay, you wanted to know what the hairpin is called, the corner that Kev has just gone round. It's called the Boulderberg Haarspelbocht.
The what?
Exactly. The Boulderberg Haarspelbocht. And I'm not making this up.
The builder's backside.
The builder's backside. Okay, right. Kev has just done a 116.8. That's just disgraceful. That's absolutely disgraceful. I tell you what, Hesselden's just done a 118.1. He's lagging about a bit though. David Harp's on another lap. Let's see if we can find someone that's about to start a lap. Mulrine. Okay, he's coming up to the final corner. So you're ready for this then. Turn 1, when he gets there, you'll like this one. Turn 1 is called Eerste. Or it's probably called Eerste. And then we're on to Sterrewachtbocht for turn 2. So the Sterrewachtbocht. And then we're into Kanalbocht. I'm not making these up. Okay, then turn 4 is Lucien Bianchi-Bocht. I think some of these are racing drivers. And then the chicane that's coming up is the Klein chicane for turn 5. You'll like what the hill is called, Ray, although I know I'll be pronouncing it wrong. But, although it's probably Butte. And then we're into 3 corners that all seem to have the same name, which is Terlemenbocht. Which Mulrine has just got very, very wrong, like I'm sure my pronunciation is very, very wrong. And then he heads...
We'll call it Terlemenbocht.
Yeah, and then now he heads off towards Boulderberg Harspeldbocht. And then the little chicane that's not really there is the Jochen Rinktbocht. And then the final chicane, which is the Jackie X-Bocht. So I'm guessing bocht probably means curve or turn or corner. But there we go. Yeah, a lot of bocht and a lot of Boulderberger Harspeldbocht. Yeah. I must admit, when I looked at the track map, I was just like, oh my goodness me, yeah, okay, we're going to have some fun with that. I don't think we're going to be going to be using those names. Okay, is anybody else out on track? No. It is just now down to Mulrine, but he's not going to have enough time to set another lap. So it looks like our grid order will be Kev 187 on pole position with a fantastic time. An absolutely fantastic time. Hesselden in second place, which will have annoyed Dave the Hart, possibly. And then Dave the Harp in third, Neotig fourth, Grable in fifth, Stringy B in sixth, Mulrine in seventh, and then that'll be it. Now, I have just had a message pop up on my screen about the internet not being powerful enough to do a live stream. So during this warm-up session, I am just going to knock the live stream off. So if the quality has been poor, I do apologise. I don't have any other internet on, and it shouldn't be weak. But I know Project Cars does seem to struggle more than F1 for live streaming. So I am going to drop the live stream off for a moment, and I shall put it back on in a second.